The Haunted Castle was made in Germany. It premiered in Berlin on April 7, 1921. This movie begins with a large group of very important people inside a castle. They are all killing time while they wait for the rain to stop. They were all invited there for a 3-day fox hunting adventure. No one could have known that it would be raining. The servant announces another guest. He opens the door and says Count George has arrived. The card game pauses. The players reply, "By George, it's Count George. She should be arriving soon." The guests have a discussion about Lady Alice. They talk about how Count George shot and killed her husband not long ago. He claimed self-defense and he was acquitted. But everyone who followed the proceedings were convinced that it was murder. Then we see Lady Alice arriving at the castle in her carriage. All the guests are gathered around the fireplace. They gossip about the shooting of her husband. They are all curious about how she will react when she is face to face with the man who shot her husband. Lady Alice's carriage enters the castle's gate. The fireplace gossips become aware that Lady Alice is entering the castle. They all become gentlemen once more. Lady Alice is greeted at the castle's entrance. Barbara tells her that Charles, the man who shot her husband, is also in the castle. Lady Alice is visibly upset. Lady Alice is escorted into the main room to meet the other guest. Charles hangs his head down in shame as she passes by without acknowledging him at all. Deep in his heart, he has a lot of guilt. Lady Alice mingles with the other guest while Charles stands alone and ponders over his life. Lady Alice is escorted to her room. She did not acknowledge the presence of Charles when she passed by him in the main room. She saw him out of the corner of her eye. The hatred was there, but she contained her emotions. Barbara tells her she will be safe at the castle during her stay. Then she makes her feel much better. Lady Alice is very religious. She tells her that Father John will be coming to see her. Father John was the priest who married the two of them. She is very pleased. She replies, "Father John from Rome is here?" Barbara responds, "Yes, I will show you the letter he sent for you." The next day the rain has finally stopped and the sun is shining bright. Lord Rodney gets out of bed and walks to the window to enjoy the sunshine. Everyone is very pleased. Everyone gets properly dressed for the big hunt. They make sure their guns are clean and loaded. The dogs are also ready to join the hunt. Meanwhile, outside, the children are playing ball with their dog. Now that the weather is suitable for hunting, everyone leaves the castle. They all have high hopes of finding something to shoot. But just a short time later, the storm clouds return. The big anticipated hunt is terminated due to bad weather. All the wildlife in the forest are relieved. They can relax until the next sunny day. That evening, Lady Alice is told that Father John will see her in his study. She hugs Barbara for courage before leaving the room. Then we see Lady Alice kneeling in front of Father John. He lays his hand on her head and tells her, "Speak, dear child, speak." She responds, "All these years I have struggled with thoughts of revenge." Father John tells her that revenge is not the answer. He tells her she must give her heart to Jesus, and he will comfort her. Lady Alice feels a calmness come over her. She thanks Father John for saving her.
The castle is dark once more. As Lady Alice sleeps, she dreams of happier times. She dreams about the strong love between her and her late husband. The following night Lady Alice requests to meet with Father John again. The butler goes to his room and knocks on the door. No one answers the door. Another guest hears the commotion and offers his assistance. 30 minutes later, numerous other guests join in the search for Father John. They check all the exits. Now it seems like everyone is searching for Father John. There is no sign of him anywhere in the castle. They assume that he has left without saying goodbye. Night falls upon the castle once again. One of the guests is a little spooked by the disappearance of Father John. He prepares for bed. He blocks the door with some furniture. He finally falls asleep. The shadow of a hand with long claws presses against the balcony door. Then the door opens. He sits up and screams in terror. The creature reaches over and grabs him by his head. Then it drags him outside onto the balcony. But just when he thought it was all over, he awakens. He is very relieved that it was all just a bad dream. But he still has some bad feelings about the castle. He tells himself that he's getting out of this place first thing in the morning. Many of the other guests feel the same way. A lot of them had similar nightmares that night. Then we see Father John appear out of nowhere. He slowly walks up the stairs. The butlers hurry to tell everyone that Father John has returned. Father John goes to see Lady Alice once again. And once again Father John gives comfort to Lady Alice. Then we find out that Father John is not who we thought he was. He removes his disguise. He is the brother of Lady Alice's husband. He has been impersonating Father John while he was searching for the actual killer of his brother. He solves the mystery. He approaches the man who killed his brother. The killer is shocked. He is told that everyone will soon know that he is a cold-blooded killer. He tells him what must be done to make things right. Then he walks out of the room. The killer of Lady Alice's brother pulls out a gun and shoots himself. And once again sunset darkens the haunted castle. All the guests have returned to their homes. Only a few people remain inside the haunted hallways and rooms. Not a bad movie for 1921. If you enjoyed watching this condensed version of the haunted castle, please click on the subscribe and like buttons, and thanks for watching.